Let me introduce myself. My married name was Mrs. Addie Loomis, though these days I prefer to go by my birth name of Miss Adeline May Olenbeck. And here lies my husband, Henry Loomis, who certainly knew how to hold a grudge. We married in 1899 when I was 18 years old and he was 12 years my senior. In the beginning, I truly was hopeful and committed to our marriage, but after 6 years and little satisfaction, I found my affections wandering. For you see, Henry owned an oyster parlor down on Burnside and Water Street. There was a handsome 20-year-old man by the name of Frank Fritz who worked at my husband's oyster parlor. We took a liking to each other and a secret love formed. Around this time, Henry fell ill and had to stay in the hospital for quite a while. While he was away, Henry asked Frank to look after the business. Unbeknownst to Henry, Frank was also looking after me. Our time alone was glorious, and we were deeply in love. Unfortunately, the day Henry came home unexpectedly to the house, he was greeted by no one. He suspected I was with Frank instantly and threw a fit. After returning home, I feared his temper, but I felt it my duty to keep up our marriage. 2 weeks passed, and though try as I might, I couldn't stay away from Frank, so I planned to meet up with him in secret. What I did not know, however, was that Henry had hired a young fellow to shadow me. On a cold day just after the New Year in 1905, Frank and I spent a lovely afternoon together visiting the water reservoir in the suburbs. Henry was informed of our whereabouts by his little spy. He was livid and spoke openly to my own mother, saying he wanted to kill us and himself. He even commanded my mother to fetch him his cleaning oil for his revolver. She wouldn't take him seriously, however, and told him to simply calm down. Calm down, Henry did not, and in a rampage, he found Frank in the street, 6 blocks from our house on East Davis Street and Union Avenue, which today, as I'm told, Union Avenue has been renamed after someone called MLK, which is an odd name. Anyhow, Henry shouted, "Frank, I have something for you." Frank, facing away from him, pretended not to hear, knowing full well who it was and how to interpret his intent. Henry shouted again, "Frank, I say I have something for you," and shot him 3 times, with 1 bullet hitting him in the back of the head. Henry paid no mind to the children who were playing in the street as he left Frank's body on the sidewalk and ran back to our house. He found me at home just as I was taking my coat off. The police were on their way, but they were a bit too late. He shot me 2 times in the chest. I collapsed, and he turned the gun around to his forehead. He took a shot, but the bullet merely grazed his skin, so he grabbed a straight razor and slit his throat from ear to ear. In his final moments, he laid beside me and arranged our arms so that we were locked in a deathly embrace. And this is how the police found us. We were all 3 buried here together on the same day. I was buried here next to my murderous husband, and Frank was buried on the other side of the cemetery in what is now an unmarked grave. I keep my eye out for Frank, but I fear that love is lost. If you see him here tonight, will you tell him I wish things would have turned out differently?